This is a hip mobility series with the band. Put the band up as high as you can in your hip, and we're gonna start in this position here with the band pulling your hip out to the side. Everything's gonna be 5 rocks or 5 deep breaths. What I'm trying to get first is my shin in this perpendicular angle right here. I'm gonna sink back, deep breath in, out, breathe back in. Sink back, feel a stretch. I sink back, I push my butt forward 5 times. Then I get into more of a pigeon yoga stretch where I can sink back, straighten out my back leg. The goal is again to get this shin going straight across. I try to touch my back butt down to the floor. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go down. 5 times. I'm going to repeat that again. Take your back knee to your heel. Get into this perpendicular shin angle here. This time I sink back, let my band kind of pull me over. Exhale. Do that 5 times. Inhale. Exhale and feel the stretch. Doing that 5 times. When you push forward, really try to use your butt muscles to push into that band. Exhale on the way back. Let's go back into the pigeon. Try to keep your chest up tall. My hip flexibility is not great. That's why we're working on it. 5 exhales. 1. Every time I exhale, I'm letting that band pull me into more of a stretch. The goal is to keep your chest tall and square, getting your shin out here and sinking straight down and feeling that stretch. Okay, so that works more of an external rotation in your hip. Now we're gonna do the opposite. I lay on my stomach. This is kind of like a rock climber climbing on a wall. So you have your leg out like so. The band's now pulling my hip that way. I get on my elbows like I'm about to do a plank. Keep everything square down into the floor. You don't want to be pulled up into this position. Push your butt into the floor. You're going to keep your butt pushed into the floor for 5 deep breaths. Doesn't look like I'm doing anything, but I'm trying to push the front of my hip into the floor. Feel a good strong squeeze in your butt muscle. Exhale. We're doing 5. So after doing 5, butt pushes into the ground. Now we're gonna keep that butt pushed into the ground. I'm gonna lift my foot off the ground. Exhale. Lift my knee off the ground. Exhale. Do 5 of those. This whole time, keep your butt pushed into the ground. That way, we don't want to lean up this far. Lift your foot up. Lift your knee up. Feel more of a stretch, get further away from it. Go up and back down. Okay, we did 5 of those. Now we're going to turn and face the band. In this kneeling position here, you still want the band up really high. Feel like the band's going to slingshot you into the wall. Let the band and push your butt into the band. Feel a stretch in the front part of your hip. Do 5 deep breaths out. 2, 3. Really sink into that stretch. Be careful when you go forward. We never want to arch back here. Keep your butt going straight forward. You're leaned into, if there's a strong wind, you're leaned into the wind. Don't get blown backwards. Okay, that was with our legs straight out. Watch my back leg. I'm going to turn it out and do the same thing, but I'm still pushing straight forward into the band. we're gonna do 5 with our leg in. And there was 5. Now we're going to switch, do the same thing with the other leg. First one is to be up high here. My knee and my foot are touching. And I'm going to rock back 5 times. Then I get into the pigeon. I'm trying to let this butt go down and touch the floor. Feeling a big stretch in the back of my hip. Remember, the goal is to get this shin perpendicular in front of you. You might have to pull it up there every now and again. Repeat that. Bring your knee to your foot. Let the band kind of sink and pull you over. 5 deep breaths. And back into the pigeon. Now we go back into the rock climber. Bring this leg up like so. 5 times of pushing your butt into the floor. Now 5 times of lifting your foot and your knee. Keep your butt pushed into the floor the whole time. Now we go into the hip flexor stretch. Five times with your legs straight back behind you. Try to keep your back flat. We never want to be arched back here. Keep your core tight, crunching yourself down to get that stretch there in the front of your leg. 5 with your leg pointed out. We're still going straight forward here. And then 5 with your leg pointed in. There you go. Repeat that as many times as you want.